How's everybody doing?
Doing great,
I'm
Matt.
good.
How you doing?
Doing not too bad. Week was a little long, but got to do some fun stuff towards the end.
Wee.
150.
I got my new subscription box in today.
Ooh.
Got some fun snacks in there, and for some reason they hate me and sent me faux gras potato chips. So
What
that's
the
an
fuck?
experience I'm gonna have.
Foie gras
Faux
chips, huh?
gras?
Foie gras.
Goose liver,
Yeah.
duck liver,
Oh.
water bird liver.
Chips?
Yes.
That's
Like
gonna be interesting. Are they tiny?
Potato chips?
Yeah. I get a subscription box of 10 snacks a month.
Oh, they're
'cause-
like liver flavored chips? Like what?
yes.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I dig it though.
Huh.
So I get 10 snacks from around the world every month, and that was one of them.
Where's that one from?
France?
It sounds French. You might be right.
Sound French.
It sounds really fucking French.
Foie gras is French, yes, but
Oh, fucking French. French make weird food.
Those
Faux gras?
are from Spain.
oh, eh.
Oh.
They
Close
stole
enough.
the idea.
Yeah.
They're like next door neighbors. They looked at it like, what if we could put that in chip form?
What the fuck?
There's a reason Spain isn't in its financial difficulties.
Be nice to Spain.
You said 150, Matt, or a minute ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
150 extra.
Okay. Got it.
Yes.
Shakes my gold bag.
Hell yeah.
Oh, did Italy win the World Cup?
I have no idea. I don't
There
pay
was
attention
There was a World Cup.
to sports.
What's a sports ball?
Italy-
All I know is that they're playing video game themes during the Olympic opening, which is very Japan of them.
That's pretty sick.
I think it was Final Fantasy. They did like the theme and the fanfare. Kingdom Hearts they did. Sonic they did.
Did it near?
They did Kingdom
Near.
Hearts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're Japan. What do you expect?
Why,
I'm just
Nathan?
play
Yeah,
Is
like
Kingdom
stuff
Hearts
from
actually
the
big in
Akira
Japan?
OST.
Whoa, hold on. I didn't know it was actually big in Japan.
They made like 70 games. I would hope it was big.
I mean,
At the very least, Nomura thinks it's big, and they keep
Yeah.
giving him money to make more games. So
Yeah.
oh man, it's
rather they keep
Kingdom
giving
Hearts or
him money to
Final Fantasy
light on
characters,
fire
who
and
knows?
snort.
I wish they had put Akira music.
From Akira.
Akira's not a video game.
It doesn't matter.
That would have been.
It would have been
That would
so
be an.
good.
That would have been an interesting.
That would have been so meta.
Yeah, given like some of the stuff that happens in Akira with like the Olympics and stuff like that,
Yeah.
that would have been so good.
It
That would
happened in
have been.
2020.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Yep.
Akira did.
Yep.
That's why when COVID happened, I was like, son of a bitch. We could have had the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and just like been all Akira, but no. Anyways, sorry, Matt.
No, it's all good. I was kind of rambling while I finished getting my drink. Let me properly set the music to loop. Thank you. So, where we last left off, you guys had each finished up your own respective missions. The party that had deployed to Yvgroth, excuse me, having been assisted by another one of Phelan's angels that was deployed in the area looking over that section of the forest, tracked down the source of the corruption in the Stag Prince's altar. And after dispelling the creature and starting to disperse it back into the Feywild, you had a fun little run-in with him, for which there is now a little bit of romance turbulence. But you got a neat flower out of it.
Yeah.
Yay.
I have a
the
feeling
other-
Reese is in trouble with more than just Tomas.
All things considered.
You could
And if
propose
Tomas
to by
was really mean, he could tell Zara what happened.
Oh no!
Mika's not gonna be that mean, but.
Hold on. Let's see how mean he is right now.
That's what happened. I wrote nothing down for last week. No wonder I have a fucking clue where I'm at.
It's a mood.
As per standard.
Yeah, you guys ran into one of the four Fey gods, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, a blood price has to be paid because somebody stole my shit and I didn't get to kill them." And then Tomas shot him in the throat.
Oh, first, first before Tomas.
No, we don't need to talk about it.
Oh, it'll get talked about.
So which party gets picked up first, Matt?
Definitely the Eefgroth party. You
Okay.
guys stayed for about 4 days total
Oh, right.
because you were deployed for like 2 days and then stayed for 2 days afterwards to make sure there were no extra rifts. The other party finished their mission up in like about 2 days, 2.5 days to evacuate people. So
Gotcha.
the other party is in the tower for an extra day and a half before you guys are picked up. So the party that went to Alidri assisted the Olgarians with defending one of their remaining free cities from some odd incidents that were occurring based on what Nara and Shaw had witnessed. So you helped around town restoring some of their defenses, making sure that the people were healthy with the assistance of Emmy, and investigating some disappearances in town, which eventually led to you discovering the source of the kidnappers during one of the raids on the city and confronting them in the underground lab that they had set up before defeating them, unfortunately, after they had burned most of their documentation, though Reeves was able to recover a few excerpts of note that I provided in the documents tab for review. So that's in the archives if anybody is interested in looking at those. So you guys stuck around town for 2 more days and discovered that there were no other breaches that you were aware of. Got a little bit of a feast and started heading back into town. Started heading back to the observatory, rather. And when you guys pick up the second group, you notice that they are noticeably more ragged. They seem exhausted. They're suffering from headaches, muscle fatigue, exhaustion, and just general discomfort. It seems like even only 4 days out in the field is starting to wear its toll. And you get a good idea that probably not a good idea to stay out too much longer than that, based off what you had been previously told about the increasing aether density in the atmosphere. With that, you guys are all back together and taking some time to reset before deploying on the next round of missions. As a heads up, I thought about adding more to the list, but all of the stuff I could come up with made more sense to add after some more time has passed, so we're going to be sticking with the same 4 options that you knew of during the last mission selection table. So you'll be picking between 4 options. Unfortunately, the combat team won't have anything to do this week, but it'll be nice for them to have a break too. So let me update that real quick, because they learned that the last mission that you did not know the status of is stable for the time being. So, feel free to take a quick look at the planning chart, because we're going to have discussions this week about what missions you guys want to go on. There are 4 options, 1 unstable that you cannot delay. Unfortunately, deploying ground troops to a party is not exactly best practice and tends to get you kicked out.
What? No.
And the other 3 are stable. So, what would you guys like to We can start off with either RP stuff, or we can start with you guys planning for the next mission.
I think we were wanting to plan.
I will say when they do get picked up, the Elytra gets picked up. Reeves will like sort of go over to. He'll find Reese. That's like, hey, can I get access to your magnificent mansion?
Sure. Can I ask why?
I am exhausted and have a lot to think about.
He's just gonna like
When-
stare
when
into
you
the
look
distance, and be
back-
like. He's like, so you don't want to be disturbed, I'm guessing?
Not particularly.
Ah, okay. There it is. Sure. I'll make it so that only I can get in. And you.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you look down at Reeves, he looks like one of those like SpongeBob hyper-realistic zoom-ins. He's not having a good
Aw.
time.
Oh no!
Was Emmy able to get any singe marks off of him?
Oh yeah, you're like patched
Okay.
up. She's good at healing magic at this point.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say if
'Cause
Mika
that-
needed to scan everybody over, but it sounds like if Emmy was with them, then
Yeah, Reeves did not want to have that conversation with Zara.
No, Emmy
He's
does
just-
good work. Leo.
Casually being like, okay, gonna add like medicinal properties maybe to the baths?
Get some aloe baths in there.
Make sure that the food
Exfoliating
is
soap.
scrap with extra treats.
Aww.
aw.
Just like 18 different flavors of scrap.
Candied scrap. It's essentially the scrap version of Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Marshmallows.
No, I know what it is. It's the dinosaur egg oatmeal, but in scrap form.
Oh no.
Reese gets creative. Reeves'
Yay.
life is forever changed. Nothing tastes the same.
Yeah.
So, oh, go ahead.
Oh no.
Right.
Reeves will just be kind of just locked in there for like the day.
What's up, Sam?
I sort of realize it's not so much will Tomas tell Zara, it's more so will Zara hear him when they get back.
Oh God.
Reese is just like, ugh.
But we can do that after the planning.
Mhm.
Alright. So after you guys have a little bit of time to rest and recuperate, once everybody is back and rested enough to think straight, you guys head back up to the top floor of the observatory to go over the remaining missions that you have available and go over the information that was gathered by the scouting team. So, last week you guys scouted out the Cornelius mission, which was the Embermane hold, where the Embermane clan had gone missing, and they were responsible for some of the greatest black powder inventions that were seen in this world. So that is of great concern to Cornelius, both that people with that much skill had suddenly gone missing without a word, and that somebody might be trying to utilize their technology for nefarious advantages. So, as you guys head up there, you see Theoden amongst the others standing around, and he gives you a bow as you enter and says, I take it all of your missions went well as well.
It's almost melted.
What was that?
Reed's almost melted.
That explains a few things.
It's pretty cool though. Like he dove in himself. He's trying to get like some documents or something. I didn't look through them, but seemed like a pretty big deal. So
That tells
you know.
Some of our companions got swallowed.
I'm sorry.
I see.
It was
Well-
it was interesting.
Mum's the word and all that. I do have good news for you all on the investigation front. Seeing as this was a bit more black ops than your friends were used to, luckily your family got a week to rest, Reeves. I met one of the other Bressian agents we still have out in the field, and we did what we could to investigate the Embermain hold, or as much of it as we could without any difficulties. But there's the rub. Pull over the map and make sure you guys have seen. So, he looks up towards Nara and makes a gesture, and she flips the display to start showing you a diagram of the Embermain layout. So here are the diagrams that we were able to retrieve from the archives of its initial construction. As you can see, the complex is a bit maze-like in certain regards. It doesn't look like it'll be easy to sneak through the entirety of it without any issues, because unfortunately it is not as unoccupied as we originally had assumed. Image. It seems that our friends in the Silver Order have been making some new acquaintances.
They did have that dwarven. They did have the ambassador, and she makes air quotes at this.
Well, that's great news because they're our friends.
That they are, which certainly makes things complicated.
Are
We've been
they
trying to. Sorry, go ahead.
are they maintaining an active presence there? Our silver buddies?
A light one at the time being. We've been trying to monitor activity in and out of the area, and I have the agent reporting back to me periodically, but it seems like they're holding at least a reserve guard there for the time being. Who knows how long they'll be having forces deployed there. Unfortunately, it seems like the blessings of the Silver Order are extremely convenient for these individuals, but inconvenient for anybody trying to break in. Most of the forces deployed there are either wielding large black powder muskets or designs similar to the ones here, and he shows you an image recreated through illusions. It seems like the heaviest armored of the forces they have deployed there are wielding handheld versions of cannons and mortars and some sort of incendiary devices. Certainly harder hitting than most foot troops you'd ever run into normally. You can see why the Silver Order was interested in
Oh, shite.
their integration. As much as I'd like to get our hands on that technology, making a push for it now might lead to some kickback if we get caught. And I'm not seeing too many entries, too many chances for us to enter without running into those kind of complications of being caught. Unsurprisingly, considering the number of secrets they had about their technology, they were very good about locking themselves deep and safe.
Well, it's not like we haven't robbed them before.
It's certainly something we can try. There would be considerably less room for entry, though. Unlike the Black Keep, the entirety of their facility is underground with only a handful of entrances from one direction. It's possible we might be able to lure some of them out with a distraction and sneak in behind them, or find some other way to get past the enter to the facility, but it'll certainly be more complex with less room for error than the operation to retrieve our Black Legionnaire friends. For the time being, I have an agent set up there to provide us updates. I'm curious on how things proceed there nonetheless, so even if we don't deploy there now, I'll try to keep us up to date on information. There's too much down there that I'm worried about them getting their hands on.
Does it look like they're trying to extract anything from the facility, or are they making the facility their own?
Seems like for the time being, from what we heard, we didn't hear any sounds of heavy drilling equipment or blast charges while we were deployed there. It's possible the acquisition of the hold was recent and they're still working on acclimating their forces there.
Dwarves built to last. It'd probably take them a lot more pain than it's worth to try and pull it out if there's no immediate danger in the region.
Indeed. And the Embermains were nothing if not a little paranoid about their secrets getting out. If it wasn't willing that they joined forces, it's probable that most of their good information is still stored within the family vaults, either on site or off, and I don't imagine any of those are going to be broken into anytime quickly, unless they've been working at it for far longer than we've had any indication of.
Would it be possible to locate one of these off-site vaults? We may have better luck. We may have safer luck tackling one of those.
We don't have too many agents left in the field, but I'll see what I can do to look around. Our best bets for information would probably be in the hold themselves or in the capital. All the other outlying holds are in various states of disrepair. I can't say I'm aware of any of them that were in particularly high standing with the Embermains. Mika.
Yar.
You hear a voice ping in the back of your mind. Well, your pointy-eared friend there isn't exactly wrong, but there is a third one that he probably isn't aware of. They were looking to lock something up real deep and safe. Best bet's the Cindergate Vault.
Mika's gonna kind of cock her head as his voice, like he's hearing something, even though it's in her head.
Yep. You recognize the voice as Selwys.
Selwys, yeah. We could. Well, we might be able to hit a couple of lizards with one rock.
Why would you be hitting lizards with rocks?
If you ever lived in some of the caves around my home. But anyway, the Embermains, I mean, Cindergate didn't sever all of its ties with back home, with the original Dwarven holds. If Amber Mains were going to stick their stuff anywhere off-site that wasn't their own, Cindergate might have been the one. So the Cindergate's vaults may have some of the info that we're looking for.
Well, with the situation in Cindergate, we're less likely to piss off our tenuous allies.
That is true, and there is, I don't know, Imova's got that vault she's wanting to look at. It's a different clan, but the Storm Granites were master metalworkers, and for some of, I don't know, they might have worked in tandem for some of these weapons. You'd probably need some pretty severe metals to work with some of these things, so stands to reason.
How much information do you need, Cornelius, to maybe reverse engineer some of this?
If I had any of their diagrams, it would be the easiest. Or even a prototype to reverse engineer. That could take a little while longer, but I'm nothing if not thorough. I've had plenty of time to study up on these things.
Well, if the situation in the hold is stable, unless they're making big moves to extricate anything, maybe we try Cindergate first.
Not a terrible idea.
Yeah, as much as I want to mess with the Silver Order again, as you said, this. I'm not gonna say we didn't do a good job with the Black Legion fort, but things got dicey towards the end.
Indeed, and luckily you had a plan out at the time. Depending on the fortifications they set up, a lot of holds aren't exactly trusting of mages. Some of them work it into the very foundations of their buildings, various runes to prevent scrying and teleportation and the like. The last thing you want to do when you build a vault is let somebody teleport right inside of it.
Yeah, let's put a pin. And yeah, sorry, Cornelius. I know I said I'd be totally on board to help you with this, but it sounds to be a right pain in the neck at the moment.
Oh, it's no problem at all. As your friend said, I think 2 birds with 1 stone isn't a terrible idea at all. You get to help out Imove, and perhaps we find a little something for myself while we're there that makes our eventual work there either a little easier or entirely unnecessary, and I am fine by either. Right, I'll keep you updated with anything I find out in the field.
I appreciate it, Cornelius.
Do you have any other questions for me? Otherwise, I have a couple of letters I need to send.
I got nothing, guys.
I can't think of too much at the moment. It's when is this? We've just picked up you guys, is what this is. So it's been
It's at least a day or two later.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Alright, well, if anything else comes to mind, let me know. I'll be keeping in touch with our agents we have out there, but I think your family's fairly well rested up, Reeves, so if you need them to go follow up on whatever you guys don't follow through today, let me know, and I'll help them devise a plan.
Reeves gives a salute and says, I'll let you know.
With a courteous bow, Theoden excuses himself and heads down to his room. Alright, so for marking off the Embermane hold for the time being, that leaves us with 3 options. going to deal with Gog and Ambercrest to see what's going on with him for Avie. Unfortunately, I don't think we have much of a time window outside of the ball itself. We unfortunately can't deploy troops directly into his estate to have him push back the date a bit. I don't think that'll go over well for our subterfuge. So that's either that's either in the next few days or we miss that one entirely. Failing that, we also still have Move's request to go investigate the Great Vault underneath Cindergate. I'm not detecting any other Silver Order or demonic activity in the area, so I imagine this one will be a little less perilous on those fronts, but we never know what kind of defenses were set up with this. Based on the information Amove provided, it sounds like they took security as something of utmost importance in this design, so be prepared for anything, should you choose to go there. And lastly, we have the request from Zek to go investigate the magical signature that Rune pointed him towards. Based on our feedback from the shield bearers that deployed there, it doesn't look like there's any risk of the defenders running amok or breaching any further into the facility. As far as they were able to tell, once they set up a perimeter, the creatures weren't too interested in coming out to meet them or really doing much of anything. Quite a curious situation there, considering the tight quarters and the unknown circumstances. They didn't push their luck too much.
Maybe we should send someone to investigate that one.
Yes, based on the information we were provided back by the shield bearers, Theoden, or at least Theoden and a team of well-trained individuals might be able to recon the area safely, get us some more idea of what's going on in there, because at the moment we have next to nothing. The disturbances are far too much for this equipment here to pick up anything of use. Whatever's down there is muddling my ability to see anything.
Is this the? I think I missed it. Is this the runes one he's talking about, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is the this is Follow the Runes.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, I was having a hard time following.
Yep. So, you have 3 choices available to you guys. The Art of the Trade, Crack the Great Vault, and Follow the Runes. Having spent an intelligence point on the Lost Art already, you got a rough overview of the situation, but it seems like it's very locked down and they weren't able to get too much of the inner workings of what was going on there. Theoden's going to keep an agent deployed to keep you updated of any change in events there. And it sounds like in the meantime, you guys are interested in trying to find other information that might give you A, an idea of what's going on there, or B, the information you needed from the hold itself to avoid having to deploy there. So, what are you guys interested in? Feel free to talk back and forth in character. You can ask any of the NPCs questions about the situations there. But otherwise, have at it, and I will be listening for your decisions.
I already know where Reese is going to go because there's no way you're keeping him away from a ball.
Yeah.
Probably joining.
As much as the situation that Zek has requested is intriguing and concerning, I don't know if Reese is is deploying to the ball. I know some magic theory, but
I can go if it's anything divine related, and I can see how it looks. So 1 out of 4 shot at that. I might be able to liken it or something.
I mean, they're both stable. All 3 of them are stable, but we're
Yeah,
waiting
well-
on the lost art.
Yeah, say the AV's, the ball is the only unstable one,
Yeah.
and there is. I
Didn't
mean,
you guys want to go into the vaults though to get information for the lost art?
that was the idea. That
correct. Though Reese, you expressed some interest in the Fall of the Runes. I'm just saying.
Oh, I was just saying that if we go, what I meant is if we do Art of the Trade and crack the Great Vault, we can send someone to investigate Follow the Runes further so that we have a better idea of what we're getting into when we go there.
Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, I think sending a team to Cindergate and then a team to the Ember Crescent Stay is probably our play.
I think so.
That was after the lost art discussion. That was what seemed most logical to me, at least.
Yeah, we still
No,
don't know.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
And for your awareness, Lana, I'm not able to get an exact reading on it, but I'm not detecting any particularly divine readings coming from the disturbance over at the location Zek provided me. From, if anything, it's either Arcana or Occult, as far as I can tell.
Shoot, I wouldn't be much good there then. I mean, I could take a guess, but I mean, you guys give me weird looks when I do that, so probably best to send somebody who actually knows what they're talking about.
I can go to that one after the ball. Once we have more information. It just seems like tight corridors, unknown enemies, probably want more information, that's all.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I've got no business being in a ball, so I'll go. I'll go if you need me there for some muscle or something of that sort, but I don't think that's gonna be terribly useful here.
I can go with Reese then. I might fit in a little better.
The
If
only
you
suit
don't know how, you will.
Right. Right.
the only suit I have, Reese does not approve of.
Um,
Yeah, we'd have to get you a different one.
Ah,
yeah, if anybody tries to deny me the chance to see Reese dressed up, you've lost your mind.
Besides, remember who you're talking to. If anybody, you know, if anybody's gonna be okay without all their weapons and stuff, it's probably me, right?
You are a walking weapon, as a point.
I have a way of hiding mine.
I hand mine to Reese and he hides them.
I probably won't approve of me carrying a sword in there, so I'll just trust Reese with that, and I'll just be ready to punch things if things go bad. I'm good at that.
I'm not sure that'd be viable this time. We'll see, Tomas.
Reeves pushes Skeleton Keith through his forehead.
that never
This
gets
is
less
so
creepy,
weird.
just so you know.
That is still weird. Don't like
What?
that.
What's weird about it?
You're putting a sharp object inside of your body.
I mean, we do that to the bad guys all the time, and they seem to handle it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they die.
I mean, but it takes like a lot of tries.
Reeves slowly retracts it.
Gremlin.
Anyways, yeah, party. Me, Tomas, and Lana?
Seems fair to me. Unless anybody else is desperate to go.
You really don't want me there.
Same.
It's okay. I have a plan.
Do you remember the scrap fountain?
You know, I remade that for Reeves recently.
It was wonderful. I really, I really appreciate it. What were, what were the things in Flavor 14? There were like little eggs that were
Just,
candied.
I don't know. it can make whatever comes into my head, so sometimes my head just gets really creative.
I want more of
Candy
those.
dragon eggs.
Candy dragon. No!
Oh.
That's really bad. But no, I'm considering taking a plan that we had at the very, very beginning of our friendship and using it at this ball.
Oh.
Huh?
Never mind. So I guess everybody else is going
I think the vault
to crack the vault, huh?
seems like the most place that can be some use.
Yes. Unfortunately, I won't be terribly much of use getting you diagrams for that. As Mika may be able to attest, the storm granites were. Well, if anybody invented the word paranoia, it might have been them.
Not far wrong.
How's the automata situation?
I've been assisting Amove over there. For the time being, we've gotten most. Well, that's all that we're aware of the remaining automata in standby mode, and we have their cores isolated. Amove's been running checks pretty much daily at this point to make sure there's no signs of interference like there was with our fun friend that you dispatched. But for the time being, it looks like they're stable and standby. As far as we're concerned, think of it as they're all sleeping.
Mika kind of visibly relaxes a little bit with that.
Well, that's
Yes.
comforting at least.
Yes. Unfortunately, there isn't much better we can do at the moment, but at least we've gotten everybody that we're aware of stable and locked away safe from all of this for the time being. Hopefully, once we get back in touch with Mother Brianna, we'll be able to find a more permanent solution for all of this. But until then, don't worry your heads about it. We have it under control.
Speaking of Brianna, can you remind me again what the end game originally was with us retrieving our progenitor souls?
So the general idea was for you to recover the souls, both as a means to prevent them from coming back as revenant, and as a means to temporarily strengthen yourself with the memories and abilities of your former selves, so that you might better deal with the demon host and his various anchors. With them defeated, it would just be defeating the demon host now, who's been surprisingly tricky to track down. And then my understanding of the situation was once everything was dealt with, Brianna would be able to open up the tether back to the heavens and release all of the dormant souls captured or otherwise back into the heavens, so the cycle of reincarnation could begin again.
And where does that leave us?
Does that leave us with all the still souls in our heads? Or us just. What happens to us?
That I'm not entirely sure of. It sounded like the plan was for all of the souls that no longer had bodies to ascend, and for everybody that still had a body to try to build a life here again. When this is all over, the world still has to move forward.
Move forward.
But I am not Brianna, so I unfortunately do not know the exact details of what she was planning.
Suppose I
Yeah.
can ask her at some point.
It's worth a shot. You, out of everyone here, have the best chance of trying to get an answer.
Let me know if you hear anything, Reese.
I've been in contact with her once already. This is just. It should be easy the next time.
I'll just Reeves will just sort of nod at that. He seems a little sullen with the whole topic, but yeah.
I unfortunately don't know how the actual Brianna is doing right now. I just have a fragment of her, and she only knows stuff that's happened since she's been in my head and stuff from the past. She doesn't know what's going on with the actual Brianna. But yeah, I'll ask.
Okay.
I've not really got much else to try and figure out. We've got a plan, but I don't know. Have we had a chance to look over the documents that were brought back? It's been a day since you guys came back, but
Do you really want to look at them?
I think seems like any info at this point might be useful. We're running
Well,
around fixing breaches or protecting people from breaches, but it's if there's any info we haven't gotten any new info on the demon host itself or what we can do other than
well,
just keep patching.
I can summarize for you, or if you want to try your strong stomach at reading them, you can be my guest.
Either. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a little capstone.
Sure.
Okay. Um, so Solana, you know how we thought the demon attacks on the city, how they were a smoke screen for the abductions.
We was talking about that, yeah.
We were partially right.
Partially.
The if what the documents imply what they're implying, it turns out that the experiment under the city was what was causing the attacks in the first place. It just so happened that made it a little easy for them to whisk people away for further refinement of their process.
So it was nothing but a happy little coinky dink, huh?
Long story short, they were attempting to create a sort of enhanced ritual for opening rifts. And to accomplish this, they were basically turning people into sustained fuel.
Why the fuck would they want to do that?
That's what them people were in the tanks for.
People in
Yes.
tanks. Some more cultist shite then.
I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand their motivations.
And you're sure that was Precipice? Nara says from atop of her podium.
I mean, who else?
We didn't get a good look at any of them.
They sort of
they got rid of themselves when when they noticed things were going bad against them. I didn't see any of the Precipice people do that. Are you thinking it's somebody different?
Just reminds me of a terribly stupid idea I heard from someone before. Did you notice anything off about the people there compared to the previous incidents you've had with Precipice?
Precipice didn't really use necromancy, did they?
Not.
When we encountered them?
No, they had the creepy hands and stuff, but I don't think they had like I don't think they have much necromancy there.
You thinking it's related to your protege, Nara?
Yeah. This reminds me a terribly lot of the argument we had leading up to the predicament you found me in.
Well, when we tripped their alarm, Reeves side eyes Lana. um, they did rain down a bunch of skeletons on us.
Like a lot. Like I've never
Well,
seen that many skeletons in one place.
Yeah. Not terribly surprising if they were even halfway competent mages. Once you get to a certain point, it's easy to mass summon them. And if you're prepared for any kind of serious opposition, you know magic sustaining a bunch of bones together without proper time to prepare them for months in advance means they're going to crumble pretty quick. It doesn't surprise me that they tried to mass produce a barrier.
Hmm.
well, they have
Everybody that went on that mission, roll me a wisdom check
It's the precipice mission.
on the Eladri mission. Eladri.
All right.
the
How do you
law.
roll court? You know what?
Wisdom check, you said?
Yeah, so
How do we
just
do?
D20 plus your wisdom modifier.
Ah, okay.
You may just be able to click on your
Wisdom.
strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
There you
click
go.
on strength under ability scores. Or
Yeah, if you
wisdom.
click the name.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, nope.
So, Lana, when you try to think back on it, you notice something odd. You had attacked them with your sword, correct?
Yes, many times.
You remember when your sword dug into them that they bled?
Hmm. As opposed to
if
the precipice guys before.
Yes, whose bodies had all turned to sand.
Yep. Lana will have a moment where she just thinks on that, and then her eyes light up and go, "That guy was bleeding."
That's what happens when you stab them, Lana.
No,
I
but
should hope so.
no. Do you remember what happens when we were fighting the precipice guys before? There was no blood. They just turned to sand.
Ah,
Damn it.
well,
Yeah, all I had
If-
was ghosts and bugs.
if they're not precipice, then I guess that would make sense. From the other documents we found in actual confirmed precipice strongholds, their motivations seemed completely different to what was taking place in that lab.
What were the folk at the lab trying to accomplish? I still
I
don't get
mean-
that.
I mean, whatever they were trying to accomplish, it involved making, um, making people into basically lamp oil.
Uh,
Not necessarily.
Eh?
There were two reasons why the Academy was created, Reeves. The first was to safely harbor people away from people that misunderstood the way magic worked and thought that they might be harmful. And the other was to keep an eye on dipshits, like whoever was running that ritual under Eladri. People that think just because they've learned how to cast a spell that they're better than the average person, and use them as experimental fodder.
Well, the notes I found were nauseatingly academic.
Not terribly surprising.
Sociopathic mages, gotta love it.
uh,
They-
Yes.
They went through at least 49 test subjects.
Not surprising considering the ritual I expect they're trying to work on. And you said that they disposed of themselves, correct? I'm assuming some kind of disintegration or explosion.
The latter.
yep.
Yeah, they didn't want traces back then. They're probably Geost all hell and back too. Not like they would have had a choice at that point. So there's no way to tie it to anybody. I have my suspicions. But if it is what I think it is, the rituals they're working with, I've been purposefully keeping away from people. So much to the point that there's probably almost next to no documentation, at least none that I'm aware of. So they have to work from scratch, which means a lot of imperfections that you have to work out, considering the amount of energy they're working with.
When out of character question, when you're talking about precipice, because I'm kind of looking at the notes, there's precipice stronghold and precipice fortifications. And I forget which one had the bad touch ghost hands. Was that the fortifications?
I believe that was the fortifications, yes. I changed the name, but for some reason it didn't update when I tried to re-upload it.
Gotcha. So,
Let me double check.
so fortifications were the ones that were trying to look like they were doing small rifts, but that was also the same one that we found the letter in.
Yeah, those are the abyss
Yeah,
fortifications.
I just couldn't remember which one because there was the two different. Yeah, there were the couple different things we had found, the journal, and then there was that letter about someone like how us being predictable and someone being a smug asshole. And I've lost track.
That letter was provided to you by OSEC and Cornelius's troop. They went to go investigate the rumors of precipice sightings that you guys didn't go check out.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. And the precipice fortifications were the ones that were bad touch ghost hands.
Okay.
But yes, imagine, if you would, that you're trying to cook. And you have a dozen pans. And you can't tell which of them has been on the heat. Are you going to be the one to grab the handle?
I mean, if it ain't me, it's gonna be someone else, right? So it's kind of gotta be.
You see, and that's why I don't worry about you becoming a mage.
I mean, if you had to do it, you would just use a mitt, right?
Most mages would just have someone else do it.
But, I mean, there's a mitt. Like they make cloth for that.
They don't care.
But yes, that might change the results of the experiment. You might have to work with a weaker test results. Might take longer. Might take more money than you had planned for. Might not
No.
get you exactly the results you're looking for.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, I hate everything about that. Thank you.
So do I, dear.
Yeah. Most mages kind of suck.
So,
Unfortunate situation.
so what were they trying to accomplish? If they're related to you know who, I mean, there's no way, there's no way Mr. Sun God is approving of it, is he?
Probably only about as much as he approved of Cornelius's abduction. Just because they work under ethos doesn't mean they always have the same thought process as ethos, unfortunately. They can get results and sweep the means to which they got them under the rug. They get to go up to being gods without having to worry about me tearing them in half.
Reeves sort of grinds his teeth at that.
If they're doing what I expect they're doing, they're probably trying to work on an upscaled version of what they had originally proposed to me back when we first discovered the Anchors. The with 6 sins, the fragments of the demon host. A means to summon something far beyond the pale of an average demon and bind it so it could be properly slain. Something that a normal mortal could have no hope of doing, even with a covenant. I suppose he thinks that if he gets the formula refined enough, with the help of some of the Silver Order enhanced mages, he might just be able to pull it off. Especially if the demon host is still in a weakened state, which I suspect he is, considering they haven't been able to materialize back in this plane directly yet.
Hey, awesome. So not just dealing with the most powerful demon in all of existence, but also somebody trying to turn the most powerful demon in all of existence into a battery. Got it.
Not necessarily. They might think they might just be able to pull it out, pin it down, and execute it without it having any means to fight back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking based on what you said.
Oh.
If they can't locate the demon host, then you just make the demon host come to you.
I imagine they're considerably more confident this time, considering the allies that they have backing with, especially some of those with fewer morals, and considerably more powerful armaments.
I guess the theory checks out. I mean, if the demon doesn't, if the host doesn't want to be found yet, then that's the best time to find it. But I don't know.
The price they're going after is too high.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that he's essentially arm wrestling with a lion.
But how do you do that? Lions don't have arms.
That's a good question.
Reese looks pained.
How do you summon a demigod with a ritual designed to summon demons? Poorly. With quite a few nasty cuts.
Therein lies the rub. Got it.
For 1,000 years and I still can't escape that dipshit's dumb decisions. Okay. Well, now that I know what to look for, I'll keep an eye out to see if he's trying to recreate his experiments anywhere else. The last thing we need him is getting confident enough in the results to actually try to do it for real. Nor do we need any more people to be subject to these experiments. When you're done perusing them yourself, Reeves, do you mind leaving those documents with me? I'd like to look over them myself.
I was going to have a talk with you about them anyway. Yeah, I'm mostly done looking over them. I can bring them to you after we're done here.
Thank you. Alright, so it sounds like we have a plan then.
Seems we do.
Alright, I'm still reading several of you as being a bit etherically unstable for the time being, so rest up while you can. Hopefully everything will be in order so you all can make it to your respective mission time, but I'll let you know if I see anything out of the ordinary with your readings.
I did have a quick question.
Yes.
Has anyone been in my room?
Don't.
How recently?
Since I was gone?
And she flips the display over to directly in front of her and starts scrolling through a list of sorts and says, the only entries I have with you returning to your room were after we picked you up from your mission recently, and Before that, the only person to enter was you again when you had to run back to pick up your coat.
What?
What do you mean, what? After we after we dropped you off, you came back in, citing that you forgot you forgot your coat.
Reese never came back.
Yeah?
Wait,
No.
what?
No, he was with us the entire time. He had his coat.
Yeah.
Why would I leave without my coat? That has everything in it.
God damn it. And you just see Nara fucking smash a button on her console. Alright, everybody, up to the command room, now.
What?
Oh, shit.
If it helps, I have a letter.
She
Oh.
squints.
What?
Reese, why
What?
does weird shit keep happening to you?
I don't know, okay?
What's happening?
Well, someone
Uh,
left a violin bow in this letter on my bed.
How did someone get in here? I thought this place was keyed and locked and shite.
Yeah, I
It
did too.
was. All of you are essentially on a censor whitelist. If anybody other than you tried to approach the building, I'd know about it.
Well,
Which is really upsetting, because apparently the Reese I have in my logs here isn't Reese. Which is a fucking problem.
that's...
I can understand how that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a...
what did they do? Did they mimic?
Do we know about your other self as running around as a Allegro still?
That's Eodrass. And he's in the rafters somewhere. Right?
Yeah, I have him tracked separately.
Okay. Wasn't sure if he could do weird magic shite and look like you or not.
What do your
Well,
letters say?
It that they wanted to give me a gift and reunite the bow with the violin, and that they were a fan. He just hands over the letter. I'll link you the letter.
When you lay it out like that, that sounds oddly ominous.
Yeah, it.
I'll put it in archive.
Okay.
God, I love writing things to bully Reese.
Why specifically him though?
Because it's funnier.
Because he's a drama queen. I've got the link. Do you want me to just drop it?
I got it.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, so you guys can read it. He'll
Oh,
pass it
Lord.
around. He's like, it's just kind of ominous, really.
Lessons in
Didn't um didn't you receive the violin from Feck to begin with?
No, I got it as a reward on a mission from a noble.
Which noble?
I don't remember his name. It was a long time ago.
Let me see if I still have his image.
Thank you.
Tomas is in the meantime just gonna scowl at the letter. Like, I don't like the idea of someone being your fan.
He slowly turns and looks at Tomas. He's like, what if I want fans? I just don't
Well,
want weird
jealousy.
fans.
Not the
Well-
time for jealousy, Tomas.
Well,
it's
Tomas,
Hmm?
sounds like you have a lot of people to confront in Olivia Alari, because Reese did a really good performance there last time we were there.
Oh god, it could be anyone.
Well, we're at least hunting one of them down.
Top when this is all over, whoever it is.
Well, our parameters are narrowed down to people who can mimic Reese's signature, and to get into the tower. How many people could do that?
Can't say it'd be many.
It's probably not Feck, because Feck has always given me gifts face to face.
Oh no, if it was me, dear, I would have given you a bottle of wine too, let's be honest.
Yeah, see, like, this is too... And it's probably not Tiamat, because they seem a little too cordial to be Tiamat.
This wouldn't have been.
I hope it's not Tiamat.
We figured the Marquis is Feck, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, wait a minute.
I mean, this used to belong to, well, you.
Aowen slash Reese, yeah.
Could it, could it have, could it have been from someone that used to know him?
Reese's face just suddenly goes completely slack and he goes, "Oh boy." I don't like the thought of that.
Mika's like thinking. I'm like looking through my notes right now.
He was a spy?
That's true. Oh, that's a fun bit. But while unnerving, probably not a threat. Theoretically.
I mean, there was a lot there was a lot more they could have done with their access into the tower, none of which they did.
I mean, they could have, and I just didn't know.
I'm scanning literally every inch of this fucking tower right now to see if I don't recognize something in it.
Nard booting up a full virus scan.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't have anything planned for the rest of the afternoon.
Not outside the observatory.
Yeah, just
Not outside of my line of sight, dear.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay, so I'm not working on the city then. Got
Not
it.
today, you're not.
wasn't gonna do much but brain chats and stuff, so that's
Reese is just gonna sit on the floor.
yeah, just go find a wall and park it against it for a minute.
Reese's
And
just
then-
going. Oh no, I'm sorry. Tomas just gonna go sit in Reese's lap and grumble at him.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you
hungry.
guys have a fun powwow with the entire contents of the observatory, while Nara angrily scans all of you to make sure you're not doppelgangers.
I'm freaking scouring my
I do
notes.
find it funny that Reese and Tomas were arguing for a day and now they're fine.
I mean, we've already talked about it. We said
Yeah.
it wouldn't be long.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are now actually forced to be in each other's presence for longer than you were for like the 4 weeks after you were mad at each other last time, okay?
Yeah.
The only name I have associated with them is Arthur. I
Yeah.
do not remember what their last name was.
That
But
sounds
basically,
familiar.
basically they were like, "Hey, do you want to pick something as your reward?" And Reese is like, "Give me that violin."
Repertoire.
This dude.
Yes, repertoire. That is the name of Reese's violin.
Yeah, that was when the Marquise gave you info about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any notes from prior to that as to.
The
That
information
was super early.
that was super early. The information he gave is that he was, what was it? An apprentice. The owner of it was an apprentice to
I s-
Feck. Yeah.
Reese's violin was crafted by a master named the violin repertoire told by Marquis to attune. That is all the notes I have.
Word.
Uh,
More notes than I have.
yeah, Reese. This letter reads very much as someone probably waited a very long time to give that back to give that to you.
Don't like that.
Well, that kind of narrows it down to how many have been around long enough to get it back to you.
I'm only like 2 years old, technically.
I mean, you are.
Hey.
Oh.
I really wish you wouldn't mention being 2 years old. That's just a little awkward.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying.
Dare you
We-
inconvenience Tomas?
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know.
Your weird life.
I mean, when you think about it, We all technically have the same birthday, potentially.
That's not wrong.
Yeah.
No.
At least you guys had a life before this.
Within a few days of each other.
We're practically twins, all of
Ugh.
us.
That's a
Don't
thought
like
for
that.
a bit.
See, Tomas, we're all two.
I don't like this.
All in together.
Alright. So, Nara eventually gives you all the all clear and grumbles and spends the next week scanning over security footage and logs and reworking her security plans. The upper floor reeks of like scented tobacco. By the time anytime anybody goes up there, it's just a haze.
Oh,
It's like
poor.
we're walking through a low-hanging fog.
What?
Poor Nara.
Life as a security admin.
It's like, how the fuck? Alright. So, we have plans for missions. We got that fun conversation out of the way. Thank you for helping me gaslight the party, Vit.
You're welcome.
It was very fun.
Yeah, Matt asked me to do that, and I was like, "Why?"
I
And he's like,
figured.
Because it was funny.
"Because it would be funny. That's why."
What about the guy
Yeah.
dropping?
I came into their session at the
Yep.
beginning
Ah.
and played Reese running upstairs getting his stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, and everyone was just like waiting around and being like, well, okay, that was interesting. And
A
then
little
Reeves
weird.
comes back downstairs and just exits the tower. It's like, okay.
You have to find present.
Yeah.
It's pretty innocent. I don't know what you're talking about. Sweats.
So
Yeah,
let's.
we're slowly working towards the next round of gifts. It's fun.
Oh no.
Oh, I have fun planned for you all. So, we'll take the down from here. If anybody has any questions for me or an NPC, we can do that during this. If anybody has any shopping they want to do, we can do it here as well.
Yep.
Also, I will be opening up individual RP sessions if people are more comfortable with that. And Mika, I will be opening up a text RP session for you tomorrow. I meant to open one up this week, but I did not get a single day without overtime.
No,
So-
that's fair. This week has been crazy, and I probably wouldn't
Crazy.
have had the brave power even for texting.
Yeah. So I'll open up something tomorrow.
Cool.
All right. So, does anybody have any questions for me before we kick it off? As a note, Feck will be pulling aside the people that are going on the mansion mission to discuss things with them. We can either do that now or at a later time.
Say that again.
Now is
Feck
fine.
going.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
So
probably
Feck is
ties into
going-
what I intend to do. So.
Feck is going to hunt down Tomas, Reese, and Lana after hearing about the mission deployments and see if he can pull you all aside for a few moments to have a discussion on something of import in his notes. How are you all doing?
Paranoid.
A little foggy and a little rattled, but I mean, I guess that's kind of normal. So you know, just another Tuesday.
Mhm.
Glad to hear that we're all in top shape as usual then.
Rich just grins at back. And sighs.
Are you still angry and bitter? He says with like air quotes, Tomas.
Usually, yeah.
Ah,
Now
good.
Reese has a creepy follower that I gotta find and kill, so you know.
Reese rolls
Yes,
his
that
eyes.
is the unfortunate life of being a bard. Well, I hear from our favorite little chain smoking goddess that you have all selected a mission of particular intrigue to me. And I thought I may be able to be of assistance to you all.
Well, that's exciting.
Why does that sound ominous?
Because I'm a Fae, dear. Everything I say is ominous.
I was going to say it's just because he's Fae. It's fine.
At
He
least he's
smiles a
self-aware.
little wider than he should be able to.
Are you saying we shouldn't have faith in the things that you're saying?
Ha!
Pretty space bombs.
I hate all of this.
I love all of this.
So,
Reeves wanted
I
me to
thought-
get that one out for you.
I'm glad. So, before I make any assumptions, do you have plans on how you're getting into this very important party for very important people?
Not quite yet.
I mean, we're pretty important people, so.
Yeah, but we're going in because they don't know us.
Yes, you are adventurers. This is unfortunately a party for merchants and arms dealers.
I'm
I-
gonna guess my previously mildly important name isn't gonna help me here.
Unfortunately, nobles from the elven woods are not terribly commonly shared in the Hearthlands unless you made regular trade with the folks of the Hearthlands.
Yeah, that's not one I remember.
It isn't a common one, no.
The most I'd thought of was disguises, but you know.
Disguises are great until you get to the door and there's a VIP list. If you're not on
Exactly.
the list, you're not allowed in. So the question is, how do you get on that list? And that is where a certain marquis may be able to come to your assistance. So,
We're just
Oh, man.
grinning now.
It's a shame the Marquis all the way back in Oliva Alari, huh?
oh, absolutely, dear. He did ask me to ask when you plan on cashing in that card of his, by the way. He is very excited to see what you have in mind for it.
You know, I've got plans. He'll see.
Oh, I
I look
forgot you
forward to
had
it.
that.
But do be aware there is a soft expiration on those. You can only redeem it for so long as you can get in touch with the man, and who knows, with the crazy political situations going on, how long that'll last for.
Don't you go dying on me now, Feck.
I wouldn't dream on it, my dear. But let's say, how often did you dream about being a prince or a princess at a gala? What is the position within the party that you often imagine yourself the most?
He's like, don't do this to me.
There.
That is exceedingly easy to follow through on, but I can say it will make being there for the mission exceedingly difficult.
You know fair.
I would love an excuse to be really, really pretty.
Oh dear, you don't need an excuse for that. Look at you now.
Oh, flatter.
Are you
Go
gonna
slick.
my boyfriend for me?
I hit on everybody, my dear. It's kind of
think-
what I do.
I think Feck was hitting on me for Feck,
Don't like
not
that.
you.
Don't be jealous, dear. You're absolutely handsome as well.
Don't like that.
Yes, you do.
So the way we avoid these types of flattery is you answer my questions.
I mean, you ask of dreams, and it's not something I ever really dreamed of because I already had it. So what's your thought?
Well, I am in possession of several acquaintances that will be attending the party in various extents, and it is my understanding through various little birds that they might be able to have some additional acquaintances along for the ride.
Hmm.
Anything from entertainers to, we'll call them reassurance agents. Guards in armor is a little too tacky for these types of affairs, but it never hurts to be just a little safe. And of course, if you're heading to a party, it never hurts to have individuals that can share a good drink or a story or a laugh or just be generally pleasing to be around alongside them. A good entourage always does wonders to show how well respected one is within their own community and how good it would be to do business with them.
Well, I'm very good at entertaining and I'm very good at conversation, so.
Ah, but this question isn't what you're good at, it's what do you want to do?
Reese just buffering.
Fuck, you're really fucking cryptic, and I'm not understanding.
I have several ways to get you into the party, dear. I'm asking which of them you would prefer.
Ooh, can I be like a big important knight?
That we can do. Perhaps not in full plate mail, but perhaps a nice dress uniform.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
I don't get to put Lana in a dress.
How good are you at lying, dear?
Me?
Yes.
I'm great at lying.
Good. So what night organization were you in again?
The one that does that helps the people in the place.
I don't think he wants you to lie right now. I think
I
he
love
kinda
all
wants
of
the
this.
truth.
I love all
I'm a
of
part of
this.
the Triangle Order.
I meant the real answer, dear.
I'm a Knight of Argus. I thought we were doing a thing, so I kind of got a little carried away there.
Oh my
It
god.
is all
I love
fine,
Lana.
my dear. You are precious and I adore you. But
Yeah.
let me go have a talk with with the head of your order and see if we can't get an official writ of service, something to say that they would very much like to see that one of the individuals that I am acquainted with is properly protected on the way to the event and for the duration of it, just in case. We'll get you a nice dress uniform, make sure you're all prim and proper, and we don't have to worry about making anything up on the spot to people who lie as a job.
Makes sense to me.
Perfect, dear. And my favorite couple, what did you two have in mind?
Yeah, Reese, what you got in mind?
Reese is gonna look at you, Tomas, and be like,
Listen, I can lie, but like you're better at it than I am.
yes, I know. Well, it's a little bit more difficult for me because I don't really have any connections. Not real ones. And the real ones I do have make it really easy to figure out who I am.
Indeed. But luckily, as I said, maybe you don't need perfect connections. Perhaps you found a very influential friend who is very forthcoming with introducing you to the right set of people that think might share their appreciation for said newfound friend. You'd be surprised how common entourages of vague acquaintances are at these types of events. Pretty face and a nice smile and a charming attitude can do wonders for getting you into the event as long as you know the right people. and I happen to know the right people in this case.
Man, you just said a whole lot of words, and I didn't understand any of them. Reese.
Yeah, you kinda lost me on that one too. I'm sorry.
Feck has a lot of connections.
Yeah, we got that.
Yes.
Would expect that. He's a god.
Which means that we can be introduced to whatever sort of connections we want, I'm guessing.
Indeed. So aside from assigning a knight to one of my acquaintances, perhaps I could introduce some very pleasant friends to be around. Someone who would be most entertaining to bring with them to the party. Not necessarily an entertainer, but a friendly face that shows how charming of an individual they are to attract such a crowd.
So,
Perhaps an up and coming musician?
Perhaps indeed.
And Reese looks at Tomas.
You know that broody cool person that everybody in school wanted to talk to, but had absolutely no guts to talk to?
Oh, the edgy older son.
Yeah, can I be that?
Actually,
Do you wish-
isn't it the edgy younger son?
I was in the middle. I was higher up, but you know, there were, God, how
It's
many
changed
brothers do I
throughout
have?
the ages. But do you wish to be acquainted with Reese at this party, or are you trying to strike it out on your own for a little bit? Try not to draw too much attention to yourselves as a group.
it'd be in my best interest to stick close to one of these two, just to make sure nothing too bad happens while we're all split up. But
Maybe stick Lana with Reese and I'll.
I was gonna say, no offense,
Nice
Tomas,
things.
but you do get very jealous very quickly.
That's not gonna stop it, but you know, I can control
But the
it.
further away you are, the less it's going to affect my performance.
And think, if we don't know each other, that means we can have our first dance all over again. We haven't had one yet, but like, you know what I mean.
cute.
That was really quite sweet.
Oh, guys.
That was really cute.
So, as I understand it, you know the games of the court.
To an extent, yeah.
How
You
willing
smile.
are you to put up with them for an evening?
He's just gonna look. Tomas is gonna look at Reese. Think for a moment. He's like, very much so.
Reese looking at Tomas like shocked Pikachu face.
I think something can be arranged. I have a couple of acquaintances that we might be able to introduce you as an up and coming member of a baby. Leo, you're very distracting.
He's
Sorry.
baby.
We might be able to introduce you as an up and coming individual within one of the retainers of one of the newer families. It won't be the status that you're used to, but perhaps that's a little better in this case since we're trying to stay a little bit lower than usual.
Matt, for my dumb brain, what's that mean?
So he was recommending having you join one of the entourages essentially as a retainer, which is somebody who works in service to either an important individual or nobility.
Okay, got it.
So very minor noble.
Yep. They could always use somebody with a stern face and a good eye to keep a watch out for trouble, give them proper directions. Maybe a hunting buddy that they ended up hiring on full time because they either appreciated their skill or their personality. perhaps a little of both. I'll leave that part up to you.
Oh! I just got an idea.
Yes, dear?
Okay, what's a dress uniform look like?
I'm not familiar with your order's uniform, but you could probably check with the headmaster of your order. She might have either documents or one on hand for reference.
Okay, cause watch this. And Lana like slaps her chest and activates her glamour rune and like changes, basically just changes the overall appearance of her armor in some meaningful way to demonstrate that she has a glamour rune because Kevin's brain malfunctioned.
Mm-hmm.
Sentai uniform. Say Sentai uniform.
Yeah.
That might just do the trick. It would probably help to have at least a core part of it underneath, so if somebody sees through it, you could explain it away as magical frill. Proper term. You could explain the glamour away as a magical extension of your traveling uniform, considering your order isn't necessarily one of the most audacious ones. You try not to carry around too much extravagant gear on yourself at all times. Though usually keep an eye out for any sort of magical trickery or disguises at these types of events, but with a decent enough explanation or enough skill at the art itself, you can probably get away with it.
Speaking of that, Reese is actually going to get close to Feck and like whisper in his ear his idea that we have been discussing. That
Not a terrible idea, and it would make it quite a bit more difficult to identify you.
what I thought.
And it could
Cool.
be a nice change of pace.
Yes.
I do believe that. Sorry. Okay. I do believe that most magical shops keep things for that on hand, so you might want to check in with your gnomish friend and her minotaur companion. They might have something to meet your needs.
Perfect.
What just happened?
A plan was formed, my dear.
Reese just winks at Lana.
I like that.
It's a little shady, but you know.
Not shady, just
Um,
it's a practical form of disguise.
Okay.
Speaking of disguises, it was maybe mildly brought up that me trying to have Reese hold my bow in his sleeves might not be my best bet this time. Do you happen to know a way I could hide it? Cause it's rather large. You can't just like.
I'm not gonna have my sleeves.
Yeah.
Considering the distance, I imagine most of the individuals be traveling by cart. Worst case scenario, we could have it secured on the carts themselves, but if anything went down, it would mean you'd have to get to them. Let me see. I don't imagine you have the means to summon demi-planes, or at least demi-holding spaces at a will.
I mean,
what?
my sleeves are built into my coat.
Have a what?
A bag of holding, dear. A bag that holds way more than it looks like it should on the outside.
You know that thing that Reeves digs into when he's pulling out like a snare and it just kind of pops up?
Or you know my sleeves?
That says backpack, and your sleeves are just weird.
They're magical, dear.
Oh. So, I'm going to ask Avi about a bag of holding.
I feel like she's mentioned that there. You guys asked her about that before, and she might have had one.
I mean, you could always just wear my coat.
Yes, you might be able to pick up a bag of holding, or potentially. Hold on, check the size of some. Depending on how much you're looking for, you might also be able to grab something like a glove of storing, so you can, rather than having a bag to be searched, hide them within leather gloves.
Okay. Out of character.
Yep.
I was gonna have Tomas talk with Theoden about having his runes transferred to fancier clothes because he wears clothing anyways as his armor.
Yeah.
If Tomas borrowed Reese's coat, would he still be able to do that?
His coat's not armor.
Tomas doesn't wear armor; he wears clothes.
Yeah, Reese's. It's
Yeah.
his coat is basically he transferred the sleeves of storage into his coat.
Yeah. So if you wore Reese's coat over your normal whatever clothing you're wearing, then yes.
Okay. Though the gloves do sound kind of cool.
It does sound, though his coat might be famous. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
His coat's not exactly in your colors, I don't think.
Bags of holding are generally cheaper, but the glove of storing allows you to snap an item that's stored into your hands as a free action, essentially.
That sounds a lot better, honestly.
The only problem is you can only store one thing in the glove of holding. So you could only hold the bow itself, not like the quiver and arrows.
Well, shit.
I'm probably gonna end up going into this without my armor, but I'll have my weapons.
You could double dip potentially.
Have
So
a
you
glove
have
on
the
each
glove
hand?
no, you have the gloves of storing with your bow, and then you have your quiver and arrows in the sleeves. So rather than taking 2 actions to draw the bow and the quiver out, you free
It's one
action the
action
bow,
for the-
draw the quiver out, and then immediately fire it because bows are reload 0. So it'd take 1 action to get ready rather than 2.
Okay.
Yep. And the gloves of storing are just a neat little thing.
That sounds fun, honestly.
I can also change people's hair.
Yes, that you can.
Does your coat do the thing where it changes its aesthetic? I don't remember if that was a thing that did.
Glamored. And I'm not sure if
The coat doesn't have a glamour rune. It's separate from my armor.
that's right. Reese, were you the one that was trained in like weaving? Or was it goldsmithing that you were trained in?
Goldsmithing, and it's technically artistry
Got it. Okay.
stuff, so I can do. I think I'm also in goldsmithing, but it's like instruments, rings, jewelry, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because you're twinkier than Reese, so you would have to get it like refit for you. That's
Oh,
not
no.
gonna cost anything. It's just a fun little aesthetic thing that would have to happen.
And then Reese would have to get like a new coat.
No, you can fix it afterwards.
Okay.
Fine. I'm not gonna be mean.
I'm sure that Tomas could change the colors too.
Oh yeah, AV exists.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I like this plan.
What color do you want your hair? You might have to. Reese kind of squints. He's like, "You don't look goth enough to wear my coat.
Wait, what?
We need to make your hair black. It'll be fine."
What? No!
You are trying not to be recognized, Neil.
It's fine. We can make your hair longer and black, and you can wear it in a tight ponytail.
Does it have to be black?
It's the furthest color from what you normally do.
I'm already so pale. It washes me out. I look like a ghost with dark hair.
Isn't that the important part? Because you can look like you can like blend in and like be all like Like subterfuge.
And it could have a literary subtext where your outside will reflect how dead you are on the inside at the party.
You don't have to go after me like that, fact. Like seriously.
Also, the more dead inside you look, the less likely someone's going to talk to you.
Let's do it.
There we go.
Ways to get Tomas instantly on board with a plan.
Reese knows his boyfriend. So if you want the gloves, Tomas, those are going to be 340.
Okay. Okay.
If you're short on gold, I can help spot you.
I am not short on gold.
You
Okay, same.
just got paid 750 gold.
Yeah.
I know.
No, I haven't been buying arrows like a madman lately because I've been using my items for it, so.
Alright. So now you guys have a plan for your sneak and enter mission.
Yep. And Reese is going to grab Tomas, because I think Lana's set, right?
Yeah, Lana is gonna have to go talk to Lady Rin to figure out what the dress uniform for her order looks like, so she can either wear it or get parts of the underset like that look like her core armor, and then glamour the rest.
Once Tomas has fancy clothes, he'll go to probably Mika and ask her to move his runes over for him.
Once Mika's allowed out of Nara's sight, she'll definitely be putting in a decent chunk of work.
Wait, you can transfer runes into normal clothing?
Tomas wears normal clothing as his armor.
It's adventurous
Oh my God.
clothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
not
like
not like fancy clothing though.
it's like a special weave that can hold the runes properly.
Would
Okay.
I be able to get fancier clothes like that?
Yeah. Adventurous clothes is whatever. It's like just the generic. You don't wear armor, you just wear like monk's garbs, or you wear like
Yeah.
fancy robes and shit like that. So it's whatever aesthetic you want for adventurous clothing. I'm not picky about that stuff.
I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to put it into what I intend to wear as Reese. Possibly.
If you want to get an adventurer's clothing dress, yes.
Finger guns. We'll see.
Yeah. One final note, dear Lana. If we are going with the route of you being there as hired guard services, we might want to change up your appearance just a little bit, because I don't think there's too many have to backseat within your order, so it'd be pretty easy to narrow you down after the fact.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Could just go as a regular human again. That one has worked pretty good in the past.
Yes, and Reese is, despite being a bard, a wizard with the comb. So I am sure he could do something amazing for you.
Reese does a bow. I also have this thing called the Hat of Disguise that may help you, Lana.
Oh.
All right. So anything else we want to do for the mission prep for them? Otherwise, we can pick this up during your actual session.
Okay.
Anything else I'll bother a bit outside of the thingy, because it would be.
Yeah, I think we can handle the rest in session, because there's probably a little more prep work that needs to get done to make this.
But we got the general idea, so now you guys can soak in it.
Yeah.
There's only one thing that would probably happen during that week if people are going to roleplay with Reese, but I will let people know if they roleplay with Reese.
Is Reese gonna drink a sex change potion?
Fuck yeah, he is.
That's what I thought.
He
That's what I
would.
thought.
Oh my
Way of doing
goodness,
it.
hell
Yes,
yeah.
guys.
If you want to see Tomas have, like,
Mental breakdown.
yeah,
For
I say
half a
full
week.
It's
panic.
gonna be sod.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if you're fucking during someone that was, like took a sex change and like they changed mid fuck?
That would
so the
be
sex
complicated.
That
change-
sounds really uncomfortable.
It's also the sex change potion is permanent if you look at Tomas.
Okay. Just
I
curious.
think. Yeah, I think you need to drink another one in order
You
to.
do.
Yes. They're not expensive though. They're only 60 gold.
I like
they're not
that
bad.
Vit's first thing was uncomfortable because it's the most logic answer ever.
It would probably either be that something really horrible happened with
Oh.
the whole body change, like
Well, this
body
just got
horse,
dark.
or the genitalia would be yeeted apart like during the change.
All right. Well,
All right.
let's just
Brad,
forget all
yeah.
this question.
As in,
Everyone have a great day.
from each other. That's it.
Moving on.
Nathan attempts to make things uncomfortable. Vit's like Uno reverse card.
Yeah, hold my drink. Hold my
No,
beer.
no, I'm not trying to purposely make
Never
it
try to
uncomfortable.
make
It
me
was genuine
uncomfortable.
curiosity.
You will lose.
Oh, I know. Honestly.
But no, it'd kind of probably be what it's like if you like fall out of like a pocket dimension onto somebody else. You just get yeeted into the next non-occupied space,
Yeah.
but with genitalia.
The only
Okay.
thing they list specifically as making the potion have no effect is if you are pregnant, it will not shift you.
Oh
Yes.
fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Practice safe sex now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Imagine if that's how you find out. Like, you try to drink the potion and you don't change back, and you're just like, uh-oh.
Oh no.
Jesus.
How much are these potions? Because that would be
60
very
gold.
okay. Like in actual in-universe terms, that's a very expensive pregnancy.
Yes, it
kit.
is.
Uh-huh.
Exceedingly so.
I'm sure there's magical pregnancy tests out there.
Oh yeah, that prestidigitation is the most obscenely powerful thing on the face of the earth, and it's a cantrip. They found a way.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
So-
God.
that covers the prep that I wanted to do for that mission. The rest of tonight's session is just going to be free form. If anybody wants to talk to each other or NPCs, we can do that now. If anybody has to drop for anything else, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll hang around for a little bit. I can probably go for about another hour, maybe an hour and 15. And then if anybody has anything else they want to do this week, I will open up RP time slots and we can plan those out.
I know I'm gonna want one of those. I'll think
I
on the
do have
rest.
to drop, but if you guys do want to actually do something with Wolf, just let me know. And we can fill a slot. Voice and everything.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was good talking to you, Nathan. I'll see you when your next session comes up.
That's next Friday.
Potentially, we're splitting into teams. Sam, was your next you're not available next Friday, right?
No, that's the night I'm coming home.
Okay. And we don't want to do back-to-backs for Mika, so the first team mission will be on the 6th.
If I need to, I can move things around, I guess, and do... Shoot. I might... Crap. I might be able to do next Friday if... so we aren't left hanging, because, I mean, we're two separate teams, so...
Yeah.
I
Don't
can-
feel pressured that you have to, but if you are
Yeah.
comfortable doing that, just let me know after the session, and we can plan accordingly.
Yeah, I'll see what I can figure out, yeah.
Yep.
Having a week off isn't the end of the world.
Either one
Not
works
at
for me.
all.
So just let me know what you end up deciding on, and we'll schedule things from there.
We'll do.
Alright. So, does anybody have anything they want to discuss with the other party members or with any NPCs while we are all together, or do any shopping while we're all still together?
Reeves is going to get Nara the research notes.
Alright. Much appreciated.
Yeah. They were a little singed. But I wrote down a bit of an excerpt. It's a little depressing, but yeah. If I have a question though.
Shoot.
would it have mattered to these mages if they were using progenitor people or not?
If they're the type of people getting in behind this plan, they've either been brainwashed into it or they're fine with what they were doing regardless of who it was that was in those tubes.
Okay.
I don't
guess
think
that-
they care about first generation or second generation mortals.
Reeves will nod at that and says, "Okay, well, I guess that makes me feel a little better." For what Precipice is trying to do, they wouldn't need something like this, would they?
It depends on how much energy they need. On average, most of the Precipice mages, by just how far they've managed to make it through all of this, are more skilled than most of your run-of-the-mill mage, so they're more skilled with these types of rituals and have the energy to back it up. But it's possible they could need other people to serve as batteries to an extent.
Sorry.
Depends on what they're looking to do.
So,
At least at their height, though, I would have imagined they had quite a few bodies on hand for whatever they were trying to accomplish.
mhm.
So, barring anything that needed a blood sacrifice, probably had the capability to do it within their organization.
Okay. I don't know. I've just been thinking too much, I guess.
Well, there has been a lot to think about, considering all of this stuff that's been going on. Considering I've been out of things for as long as I am, I'm still trying to put everything together. Can't say I'm too excited about what's been going on. You die for 1 millennia, and all of Magecraft stumbles back to right where it started.
Were were things different back in your time?
Things were starting to get better with the Academy. At least from what I saw from above. The things started getting complicated during the war. Old conflicts rose up. You can imagine the average farmer who's never so much as seen a mage might start getting the ideas that people that can call fireballs out of thin air might have something to do with the demons that killed their brother or their father or their son. Tensions rise and people make stupid decisions that I thought I had trained out of them.
Well, people outside Tripwire always side-eyed some of our contraptions, so I can imagine it's well, probably not even comparable.
Perhaps not, but I don't even know.
Sorry if this is a random question, Nara, but how do you see us? Like we're not really um you know, we're not the progenitors.
You say that like it matters.
I know it shouldn't, but
I can see why that would be stuck in your head.
the more I think about how our encounter with Nixie went, um, I guess the more her words kind of live in my head rent free. But if you said, um, but if you're right about what you said about the, it doesn't matter if they're using original souls or not, then I guess it doesn't really make us any worth any more to them.
No, people like that. Can't really reason with them. They only care about results. People outside of their organization are just tools or obstacles in the end. They're trying to reach something that they think nobody else can. Without wondering if maybe they shouldn't.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help stop them, I know I crammed about a couple years of standard theory over the past couple of months, but if there's anything I can do to help stop this in the future, let me know.
Will do, but there's one thing I'd like to ask in the meantime, Reeves.
Yes?
You didn't make this decision about how you are here right now. Don't blame yourself for it.
I mean, that's the thing. I think I decided to sign up with Brianna, but that's the thing. I don't know how much of that was really my own decision, or if the other Reeves would have just done that anyway.
Are you the other Reeves?
No, but I I have memories that aren't mine. Like, I've not checked up on Tripwire a single time since I've been part of either the Hands or the Redeemers. I feel like I should, but I don't know. The more I learn, the more sort of outside myself I feel.
Well, if you're so worried that that is because of the rather unique situation that you find yourself in, have you considered maybe asking the other you if he felt the same way? You'd be surprised how easy it is for people to get lost in their lives. Your situation is certainly a bit more unique, but in the end, people often wonder if they've made the decisions that led to where they are, if they kind of just kept stumbling along and ended up where they were. Rather than worrying about it, try to think about it. See if you can't find an answer rather than fearing it.
I'll I'll ask him next time I see him. But regardless of any ill feelings I have, there's only something that only we are in the position to do.
Good. Remember that. And try not to forget the choices that you make from here. The last thing I want is you guys to save the world and wonder if any of that was your doing. Gods get too much credit for things as it is.
Reeves will just kind of smile at that.
Yeah, I'll try not to forget it. Thanks, Nara.
No problem. And she goes back to reviewing documents. Oh.
Only other thing I had in mind for Reeves is I would like to see about getting maybe a cold iron attachment for the bayonet.
So do you want to cold iron plate skeleton key, or do you want to get a cold iron hard bayonet?
What are there any cons to plating it?
So, in order to not lose its properties, you do have to get higher quality cold iron. Let me see how much that would cost. To forge it. Materials. There we go. Precious materials. How much bulk is the dagger? Light bulk. How much does the tree cost? Okay, so it would cost 890 gold to get a cold iron plating for skeleton key.
Okay.
You might eventually need to get higher grade depending on how many high-end attachments you get on your crossbow, but that should hold you for now.
Okay. I think we'll go ahead and invest into that, since we're now especially running into more and more demonic enemies.
All right. So deduct 890 gold from your inventory and mark skeleton key as cold iron standard grade.
Okay. 890, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Be sure to do that for both skeleton key and the pile bunker.
Okay.
And if you ever want to upgrade it to the highest grade for like super high-end attachments, that's going to cost an extra 9,000.
Whoo!
That's essentially making it like essentially reforging the blade to have cold iron properties.
I gotcha. Yeah, that'll be a long-term project.
Yep. And that also depends on what you guys end up doing with the void steel you have, or any additional void steel you pick up.
Yes.
For those that didn't see it, I did add what void steel weapons and armor do, at least for the low grade that you're currently able to craft.
Okay.
I did see that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's making something.
And I should probably go add the costs for each of those onto that sheet, but I'll do that tomorrow. So, you will still have to figure out a way to unlock standard and potentially high grade later on, but for time being, low grade is all you have available. Alright, does anybody else have anything they would like to do during the session?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think most of
Hmm?
Mika's conversations were. She was gonna talk to Amove, but that can be part of the chat conversations to do. Might be easier.
Yeah, I definitely want to get, if you're going to the vault, I want to preferably have that conversation with Selwis with you, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Okay. I think the only thing Mika would do besides I'm doing research into getting a second property rune into her armor, which I gotta do some look into. Would be actually to try and track down Shino if he's around at some point.
Yes, Shino does have his alchemy lab set up in the building. So you want to go track him down?
Yeah.
You head towards the room that you have learned over the course of your stay here that Shino has retrofitted into his alchemy lab. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I'm just trying to get my mic to behave.
Oh, gotcha. So, as you stand at his door, you can see soot marks around the edges of the door where it meets the frame. And you hear the faint sounds of movements and clanking on the other side of the door. What would you like to do?
Gonna stand there for a second, kind of rap against the frame of the door, like, "Hey, Mopey, safe to come in?"
So you hear a small, like, on the far side of the door, and cursing as you hear something moving across, like a chair being pushed away from a desk, and you're greeted to the sight of Shino, kind of just looking down at you, being like, "I'm not Mopey, what do you want?"
Got your attention at least.
Hmm.
Mind if I come in for a sec?
Sure, why not? Apparently everybody wants to visit Sheena nowadays. There's a chair set up in the corner now.
What can I
Sweats.
say? You're such a friendly fellow. I'm sure everyone's beating down the door.
Yup.
She's gonna kind of settle herself in the chair, kind of set for a second, but how long has it been since Cindergate? It hasn't. It's been a few weeks.
It's been probably about a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay, so yeah, she's gonna kind of think for a second and kind of count up in her head a little bit. So I don't think I talked to you since Cindergate. And I guess, mean, you're toting around. I'm toting around my close family, but you're toting around the other half of it.
He was toting around some of the other clans
Yeah.
that were like close to your family.
Just kind of gotta look at him for a second. It's like, how the hell are you handling having that much in your head?
So while you were setting up and starting the conversation with him, he had pulled back out his reloading kit and started packing gunpowder in slightly before he just lets out a soft sigh and looks over in your direction, and he says, "You were there for it with the others, weren't you? You saw the shit I had to put up with when I was growing up."
Yeah, it was a shite place to be, but I don't see how that bears on suddenly having several dozen other folks in your head.
Well, when you have a lot of practice shutting other people out, let's just say a bunch of friendly bickering's a lot easier than whatever those pricks were throwing in my direction before. Plus, it sounds like you guys get it a lot worse with us being out there with all the aether jittering everything in your skull around. Probably makes them more talkative than anything.
Mika kind of chuckled at the friendly bickering bit, but kind of quiets that kind of silence when he says some of that stuff. It's like, I don't sleep. I can't not hear him. And they're not even... I mean, I remember them, but I'm not mine. The real Mika's in there
Yeah.
with them. And I'm out here, and I don't sleep.
Yeah, I imagine you guys being well-adjusted members of society are taking this a little bit harder.
Reese fist bumps Shino in spirit.
I guess we're doing this. Okay. So what are we talking about, Mika? Are you worried about them, or are you worried about you?
Bit of both, I guess. We're doing all this to fix things and let everything and everyone else move on where they're supposed to move, I guess. Can't say I follow half of it other than fixing things. But I ain't got nowhere to go back to. And I've talked with them a little bit here and there, but it's not the same. And I'm not sure, I haven't brought it up with any of them yet, any of my family. as to where they're gonna go when this is done? I pound metal. I don't know anything about trying to fix this and even a Move. In the meantime, I can't sleep. I'm gonna fuck something up if I can't. As I figured, since you're, even if they're not your family, you're still had them stuck in your head. How the heck you could shut them out?
How's the proper way to put this? What did Mika say specifically about why she wasn't sleeping?
Because she's got things like Excelways popped up in her head, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I was figuring as she's been talking with her family, that the same sort of thing's probably been happening. Is that she's got, if she's not focusing, she's probably got their voices in there. And then, so yeah, basically just kind of constant chattering, constant noise. Even though she's focusing really hard on something else. That's how it made sense in my head.
Now, Mika, and this is just a guess. Were you ever one of those types of people that couldn't tell your family no?
Kind of shuffles her feet a little bit. Something like that. I fixed things, that's what I did with the family. I fixed the kids' toys, I watched them, I worked in the forges and fixed stuff. That's what I did, it's what I do.
Mm-hmm. And then the world fell apart, and you fixed that too.
It
Now
wasn't
here's
me
an
that fixed
important
it.
secret. Long as they're in your head, they're safe. So now you have a super special power that you need to learn how to enforce. You need to learn how to tell them, hey, I'm gonna step out for 5 minutes. And then you let them keep having their talks and their conversations and their problems. And you walk away out of earsight and go take a nap. Because you're not doing anybody good. Hammering swords and shields and runes and magic and whatever the hell else smiths do on 2 hours of sleep. How the hell are you going to help anybody if you put that magic hammer of yours through your pan bones?
That's what I've been trying to figure out how to do, but it seems like the longer they're in here, the harder it is to not hear them.
Because you're worried about letting them down, aren't you?
Well, something like that.
Well, maybe they need to learn. Sorry. Trying to find the words. Well, you're trying not to let them down. Maybe it's important to teach them when your limits are. Family's all well and good, but if everything you do is with a smile and they never see you're at their limit, how are they supposed to know when to stop?
That-
It's just like in your headspace all over again. Stop trying to give everything 150% all the time, Mika. Sometimes it's okay to stop at 100.
What?
Let's be honest. If you fell apart, do you think any of the other dipshits you work with would be able to hold it together for 5 minutes in your absence?
Offended.
It'd probably be okay. I fixed their stuff. I patched them up, but they're getting pretty good at doing that in Fendon.
That goes for them too, you know. If any of them tries to give too much, it's okay to tell them to shut the fuck up for 5 minutes.
Well, luckily we've got thick doors, so recent to must start getting too loud. I don't know.
Hello? Reese has a soundproof room?
No, I meant them bitching
Like
at each
Mika
other in the
said,
hallways.
Too loud.
I meant them bitching at each other in the hallways, but you know, you can go that way with it too.
Oh! I'm gonna shut up then.
God, Bit, where's your brain going?
Just Tomas
Fuck
being
you!
like, we should head to your room, you're being melodramatic, and just offended where he's like, I am not being melodramatic.
Exactly. Exactly.
Reese is gonna be insufferable as a lady.
Oh god. Terror. To think on that some. But
If you're gonna keep sticking with this role of being the party mom in the combat field, you need to be able to enforce that rule of mom needs 5 minutes.
see, most of everybody else is fine. Once we're out of the field.
Yeah.
Just kind of taps the side of her head. But I'll think on it. I do appreciate it though.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm turning into something of a therapist now, so
As you
I
said,
guess
you
come
spo-
back anytime.
You stole my joke. Mono was gonna make.
you did say we did see what you went through, so everyone figures how if he can pull out of it, or at least be semi intact, or at the very least you haven't shot any of us yet, so
Yeah.
fair.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. You just need to push in the right direction.
Working on it. In the meantime, though, as long as AV keeps getting in the good stuff, then and catch a nap here and there.
Yeah, well, if any of them give you too much of a problem, let me know. I can make sure they have a nap too.
I think I'm good, but thanks for the year.
Yeah, don't mention it. Literally, don't. I have enough visitors as it is.
It's just more bullshit piled on top of more bullshit.
Wee. Alright.
Kind of, yeah.
So
Wave
that's
at
a
him, kind
battery.
of like, salute at Chino and leave him to his reloading.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, she'll probably leave a small flask of dwarven booze at his door.
Hell
Good.
yeah.
He doesn't feed and hydrate himself.
I'm not
This
sure.
is gonna make an amazing reagent for my new bomb.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mika.
Considering that proof of that shit, she's going through it fast enough, but she'll leave him a little bit.
Reese should have never told Miko where he got his liquor.
Oh no,
Uh,
she's been buying AV out on a regular basis.
Oh my god.
Mika, roll me a perception check while you're in there.
Oh, okie dokie.
Oh no.
Doot. Perception, huh?
Jesus Christ. Okay. So while you're looking around and getting ready to leave, in the corner, like tucked away under one of his desks, you see a series of containers and vials. Containers and like cylinders of gunpowder, and it all seems to be bundled up. And carved into the side of it is just "Rainy Day Project."
Oh god.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
no!
So as she walks out, then having spotted that, she'll
She's
kind
like,
of,
okie dokie, bye.
like,
Leave you to it.
you know, Reeves is pretty good at tinkering with some stuff, but if you need a hand with any of your projects, yeah, you know where to find me.
Yeah, as much as I want the bomb to explode in the observatory, I think I'll leave Reeves out of this one.
He does. Well, he hasn't blown us up yet, although he does keep sticking things in his head, which is a little unnerving.
He likes to field test things not in the field.
She'll kind of wave herself out with that one.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's really not.
The last thing Shino needs is Nara killing him because Reeves is like, I wonder what happens if we detonate this.
Is like, Reeves, which one did you detonate? The test one, right?
Test
Right?
The test one said Rainy Day Project on it, right? Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god.
What do you mean they're alive?
There are
And then-
clouds in the sky. That means you wanted to test it on a rainy day, right?
And then the
Exactly.
light inverts behind Reeves and half the observatory blows up.
Aww. I don't think that. We didn't think that was the signal, cause.
God.
I think that's all Mika was really gonna have. That was for now. Everything else will be a text bit.
Hell yeah. Were you gonna do any crafting during your downtime towards anything?
She actually dumped a lot of cash last time, so the only thing she's currently researching she can get, I think, is second armor property rune, and I gotta look into that, what she wants to get.
Yeah. Do you have magical crafting yet?
I think. Where is my sheet?
If you don't, I do.
I was gonna say, I
Yes, you do
thought-
have magical
I was
crafting.
gonna say, I thought I did.
Level 2 skill feat, you have it.
Okay, yeah, so I think I kind of had to be able to do stuff with the ember and whatnot.
Yep. So if you want, you can roll me a crafting check for the week. We can say that's like towards your research on the initial design and prototyping and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So crafting. As a crafting roll?
Yes.
Car.
Alright, that's a pass. You are expert. Teen. That is 70 gold towards your next upgrade.
Okay, and yeah, she has enough gold. She'll probably end up just dumping the rest of her cash into it once we figure out what we're doing. So
Yeah, you can either usually weapon runes are either another element for like damage offense or like secondary effects for like funsy stuff.
yeah, or not weapon rune, armor rune. I'm sorry, because yeah, she's got her
Armor runes, yeah.
she's got her fortification rune already, but I haven't picked anything else into it. So
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the armor property runes.
yeah, so I'll let you know what she digs out. What I dig up for her for that.
Sounds good.
I think that was it.
Alright. Does anybody else have anything they would like to do during the downtime, or any characters they would like to talk to?
Tomas is gonna do as usual. I'm gonna go to Nara, be like, hey Nara.
Yeah, Tomas.
Can we put the observatory by Caltesi again?
It's already there, Tomas.
Oh. I guess you're probably predicting this by now.
Yeah, more or less.
He's crazy. Like, thanks, Nara.
Mhm.
And then he's going
Hold
to
on.
go. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she walks over to you and, with her like wooden hand, traces a symbol onto your form real quick before it fades away and disappears, and says, "Alright, good. Don't cast
Well,
a spell magic on yourself on that spot, because if I don't see that rune, you're not getting back in the tower."
I don't know how to do that anyways.
It's probably for the better.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Reese if he wanted to come with me. Do you need to do that to him too?
Yep, anybody leaving the observatory gets a rune now.
What if I ask Kapak?
That doesn't change my answer, Tomas.
Maybe Kapak likes you. He's gonna go walk away to go find Reese and Kapak.
Does Reese
Uh,
not?
No, he meets Kapak.
Reese is actually not going to join Tomas this time.
Moss is gonna look scandalized and be like, well, I don't know.
I
Go
have
a
things
week-
to do. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna go have week with the tree.
I'm sorry. You don't be like this.
Moss is gonna crazy. He's like, I'll come back at night anyways.
You're such a brat.
Moss is gonna go find Kapak and see if Kapak would like to join him in building the temple.
He is your
Awesome.
character, so if he wants to go, he can.
You know that's fucking fair.
Wow, Sam, does Kapak want to go with Tomas?
You know what? Shut the fuck up. Kapak is gonna give Nar shit about having to have the symbol put on him, though. I hope you know.
Nara's not scared of him.
I know, it's very unfortunate, but how upset would you be if a Kapak showed up that didn't like trees here? Wouldn't you want to know who he is?
That would never happen. All Kapaks like trees.
But what if it was somebody who wasn't Kapak that was pretending to be Kapak?
You can't do that.
That's what the rune's for, to make sure nobody can do that.
Fine.
She
Dang.
just puts the symbol on him.
Moss is gonna look at Kapak. He's like, Kapak, do you want to ride? And then he'll let Kapak ride Maya out.
Bless.
He's gonna dump the flat 85 gold and just get all the materials to begin with.
Okay.
And then, spend 4 of the days working on it.
Sounds good.
He'll probably wait towards the end to yell at Phelan that he needs something to consecrate his fucking temple, you goddamn goon. But, you know. that'll
Do
be
you
another
actually
time.
yell that at him?
Yeah.
It starts raining about an hour later.
You fucking bitch.
That's awesome.
He'll work through the rain. Kapak is gonna root himself and enjoy the sunshine and rain.
Aww.
Tomas is like, Kapak, what the fuck? You're supposed to be helping. All he gets is a bark, and bark pops out.
He still has it. Yes.
Of course, he still has it.
It's important.
God.
I just imagine that Kapak can grow like a slightly larger leaf so that Maya can hide underneath it.
Yeah, Kapok's a cryptid. It's fine.
That's awesome.
I did send you a message, Matt.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yes, if you have the money for it. You would need the difference in gold.
Okay. That's a big difference.
I think you're a little short now.
Yes. I'm not sure if I could work on crafting the hummingbird thing, but
You could. It's magical and largely just. Do you know any transmutation spells?
transmutation. Let's see here. It's a good question. Let's see. Does it say in the spell? Oh, there's divination. Da-da-da-da-da.
Transmutation is anything that transforms something. Slow and haste work technically.
Yeah, that's transmutation.
Anything like meld into stone, like animal form.
I think I just have like haste. Wait,
Okay.
that's conjuration.
So I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
If you want to work on it, you can start setting up the baseline for expanding the Wayfinder to accept that magic, but you would need somebody who actually knows like a transformation spell to finish building it, which would be the lump sum that you pay after the fact.
Okay. So would I just
So-
make a crafting check right now?
Correct.
Oh boy, I haven't used this in a long time.
I believe that's a success. Let me check. That is a success. That's 70 gold if you work for the week.
Okay.
It's 10 gold per day that you do work.
Okay. I would still have some extra spare time on the side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Earn income assumes 8 hours of work per day.
Okay.
So do with that as you will.
I'll just remember that.
Mhm.
Or put it in my channel.
I usually write those notes in the notes part of the character sheet. That's how I usually keep track of it.
Yeah. Downtime assumes you're able to do like 8 hours of intensive, like mental or physically taxing work, and then you need to spend the rest of the time doing less taxing stuff, or else you burn out. There are not rules to allow you to burn out, otherwise every D&D player on the face of the fucking earth would constantly push the burnout button.
Yeah.
Matt, I did figure out what armor property rune Mika will work toward and dump her extra cash toward.
Sure, which one?
Winged.
Let me check. Yeah, you guys are getting to about the point where you're going to get flying, whether I like it or not. Sure.
Uh-oh.
Matt's continued hatred of flying.
Nah, I'm more fine with it with you guys. I just meme about it because when I play with non-RP characters, they fly and then try to wrestling people like fucking power bomb people from like 500 feet in the air.
Excuse you.
Mika just wants to reach.
What do you think
astral
Lana's doing at
synergy.
level 18?
Hey, that's fine. That's level 18, not like level 8
Oh yeah, fair.
So yeah,
or
she'll
level 5.
the crafting plus she'll dump some of her regular gold in toward it.
Mhm.
Most of it.
Just a heads up, as soon as Lana gets Divine Vessels, she is seismic tossing something.
Hell yeah.
Mika's just tired of shit being above her head because she's short. Gonna fly up and smack it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh,
I do have more stuff, but I think it's for outside of session.
fair. If it's just like one-on-one stuff, we can do it outside of session, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Mine is mostly that Tomas, like Zara will probably hear Tomas enter the building the first day they're back yelling at Reese.
Oh no. Hmm.
Hey, we're gonna have some extra fun in the one-on-one sessions at this.
I mean, honestly, probably the entire place would hear it.
Just hear Breeze quietly and sadly being like, I'm sorry, okay? Tomas, please, I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. That's all you hear.
Been weeks now. This can't continue.
It's a different argument.
That's a different
Oh,
argument.
It's a
Jesus.
They made up for the first one, and then Reese did some dumb shit and pissed Tomas off.
Jesus.
So yeah, Mika's still side-eyeing him a little bit about that what he
Wow.
had, but not as hard as Tomas.
Reese panicked, okay?
Yeah. Mika wasn't at her best either, but just like, that's where you went? That?
Listen, man.
I just imagine Tomas and Mika both being like, "What the fuck was wrong with you?"
Reese just walked up to the bow and is like, "Do it, man. Put me out."
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It wasn't like that.
Sprinkle voice.
We.
God.
I can't wait to finish writing that story.
Eh?
You guys are getting a fun, like, out of character story following that.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It's that one I mentioned, the price paid forward.
Oh God. Oh no!
Hey, that's
Wait,
not the
what?
that's not the Amobe one.
No.
You're writing sad things about the good boy.
I would never.
Don't fucking lie. I'm gonna be so upset with you.
For reference, what the fuck did I call it? Blood.
Blood Lotus?
The Blood Lotus, yeah, but
The Grove.
actual grove, yeah. The grove they went to was a shrine to the Stag Prince that essentially opened on like what is like the spring equivalent of the harvest moon, which symbolizes like the height of his power. And if you go there that day and offer up your life, you can give it to somebody else.
Aw.
So it would like transfer all of your physical vitality into somebody else, like curing most sicknesses and things like that.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's it Tomas? Because I know things, but Reese doesn't yet.
Wait, what?
Tomas tried to find it. Remember?
Yeah.
Reese knew that.
No, he didn't. You didn't
Tomas
tell
mentioned-
Reese.
Tomas mentioned it.
While we
He
were
mentioned
there,
he
he
had tried
mentioned,
to find
Oh,
it.
yeah, he had
Yeah,
mentioned he had
while we
tried to
were
find
there.
it, but I don't know would Reese know what that meant? Because Mika sure as hell didn't. Just that you had tried to find
I
this
mean,
place.
I
It's
can
like,
roll an intelligence check to see.
yeah, say Mika's like, oh, you
you
tried
did roll a check and knew who the Stag Prince was and where you were going.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if I made the connection between
Fair.
Tomas and yeah.
It's like Mika would be just thinking like, oh, you tried to find this creepy ass place. Okay, sounds about right.
Wait, Rick's over here just like, weird. Okay.
God, why
Wait,
is my
did
boyfriend decrypted?
Wait, what?
What?
I'm kind of disappointed in Reese not making that connection.
Listen, man, he was preoccupied with his newfound fear of leshies. But
Out of character knowledge, Tomas was looking for it to try to save his daughter's life.
dreams.
We.
I mean,
I completely forgot that
funny
he had
campaign.
Wait,
We have fun here.
I'm not sure I remember. Yeah, Mika sure as fuck doesn't know anything about Tomas having a kid, so.
Tomas is a dad?
maybe Reese only
Was.
Reese knows that.
Sweats.
Tomas was a dad.
Was a dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen, I had
Tomas has
100.
trauma.
I
I
had
wonder.
107.
There's a
years
reason
of
why Reese will
backstory.
never call Tomas daddy.
Aw.
I think Reese did once as a joke.
I don't think he did.
Thought it
I think we
happened.
memed that he would.
Mm.
I don't think he actually did.
I think I
Okay,
vaguely
that might
remember.
be it.
I think Tomas may have mentioned a wife vaguely at one point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reese has met his ex-wife actually.
That's right. That did come up, and I think it was. Oh yeah, with the whole Shino thing.
Boy, it's been a while since they talked. Reese should send her a message and update her.
Let me give you all the tea.
Anyways. I just rolled a d20 and I rolled a 14 on it, so Reese probably made the connection. We'll go with that.
Hell yeah. Alright, so any last minute things people want to go over? Otherwise, I will open up the slots tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, depending on when I stop playing Total War. And then we can figure things out from there. And once I know how to plan these sessions, I will let each team know who's going when.
Word.
Yay.
Sounds good.
Did you have a question for me, Sam?
Not yet.
Okay. But it doesn't sound like there's anything else then.
That I can think
At
of.
least in character.
One brief question for
Sure.
pricing.
Mm-hmm.
Reese wanted to make a really nice dress. How much gold would that cost?
Are you building it to have your runes transfer to it?
Only if it would not impact how nice the dress was.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
You could find ways to, like, stitch it into nice places. Or transfer the rune into, like, either obscure places or places that glamour it really nicely.
Can't you just stitch runes to the underside of it, like under a layer?
Inside the bodice.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Let me see then. Unless you're trying to use a special material. How much does the fancy clothing cost? Let's go with that. Clothing. So there is fine clothing, which is a normal-ish suit made with expensive fabrics, precious materials, and intricate patterns. And there's high fashion clothing, which gives you a +1 to make an impression.
That one.
That is 55 gold.
Sweet. Let's do it. And then how much for transferring runes?
If you don't do that shit for free.
Word.
Or Mika can do it. Or Theoden can do it.
Word. Alright. Cool. I will take that off.
Hell yeah. It's high fashion, fine clothing. And just make sure to get like explorer's clothing and mark the runes over.
Oh, and just equip it.
Yeah. That way we know what your AC is going to be.
Okay. I can do all that while other people do stuff if they need it.
When you said take it off, I was like, damn, put the dress on first.
Shrug emoji. You said explorer's clothing?
Yes. That's the clothing armor.
All my interactions, I think, will probably be better suited for 101.
Yeah.
Yep, I got nothing else. Everything's gonna be text channel stuff.
Last call going once. Going twice. Alright. Did y'all have a nice little relaxing session?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Alright. Sounds like we're gonna have some fun on the next round of missions.
I'm glad we RP'd mission select because I don't think Lana would have made that choice if it wasn't for the conversation we had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can lead to some fun discussions. Like, it's an extra week, but sometimes, like, maybe not every time, but sometimes it's nice to have these
Absolutely.
sessions where you just chill and just do RP stuff, get everybody resynced and on the same page.
Plus, we're all together.
Especially after this week of work, I needed chill.
Yeah. Has
And
Sheena
don't
really?
worry. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, and be aware we will still have full 6-man missions every so often for like bigger stuff. But what was your question, Chris?
I was gonna say, has Sheena really been getting that many visitors? Like, no one mentions him. Like he hasn't popped out in ages. I assumed he was just fucking hiding in his cave the whole time.
Reese
More
visits
than
him
zero
almost.
was a lot.
Yeah, Reese visits him almost every day.
Oh jeez.
That's where the chair came from.
Ah.
I imagine the Candros has a similar one in his room.
Haha.
Listen, Reese usually doesn't talk to Shino though. He's being dramatic.
Ah.
Now the real question is, did Reese drag a chair in there one day, or was a chair just there one day when Reese walked in and Reese had a fucking panic attack?
The former,
Probably
or the
that
latter.
one.
The latter.
I'd say probably the second.
Yeah.
Ooh, I lose 2 AC, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Shino hears you stopping at the door, and you just hear him cock his gun. He's like, "Is there a fucking problem? Get in your chair, bitch."
Reese is like, no problem. Boy, that's gonna be a shock for Shino one day during that week.
Yeah.
Where Reese is shorter, doesn't look like Reese, and has boobs.
Just Shino being like, "Is this for a mission, or are you having another crisis?"
Both? Why can't I multitask?
Fair. Alright. But yeah, fun session, and I look forward to those 2 missions. I have been planning them for quite some time.
I finally got
Oh,
Reese into a
boy.
dress.
I know, right?
It took like 2 years.
Yeah, cause didn't he volunteer way back in Millstone? He was looking.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
That's
That's
what I
why I was
thought.
like, we're going way back, kids.
Hitting that Wayback Machine.
Oh god.
It makes sense though. Reese has very identifiable traits.
A couple, yeah.
Yeah.
Part of me kind of wants Lana to run into Reese and be like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Do it. Everybody take sex change motions. Let's go.
Tomas being like, "Nah."
No.
No, I
Before I'm
I
good.
already did it once.
Reese would not ask Tomas to do it, but
Yeah.
he'd be like,
That
"Hey,
would make it much harder to identify Lana.
yes, it would." And I think Lana can get rid of her cat ears that way.
I think it'd be kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
I think you just look like a close relative, but it doesn't say if you have to keep the ears or not.
Hmm. I'll think on it, which means I'll let you know like tomorrow that like I'm all for it. Yeah.
They're just gonna have a gender bend party. It's fine.
Okay.
Why the fuck not? Let's make it like the gimmick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I am very much looking forward to both of these missions. I have some fun things in store
Also-
for you all.
Reese is totally just shifting his like violin. Well, no, he can probably carry it in a case since he's going as a musician. But he was just gonna tuck his violin into like a garter
Oh my god, that would be
because
amazing.
his rapier is in his frickin' violin.
Mhm.
Gotta have
Yeah.
You
that.
could also, depending on the type of dress you're wearing, the scarf is also a weapon.
Yeah, he
But
could have worn it
might
as a
be
scarf too.
much,
Yeah.
'cause it's like late. It's midsummer right now.
Listen, man, he needs to use the booba to his advantage.
Hell yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the vault thing. I want to play with puzzles.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming about this session for a long time, and I never thought I would have it. So,
Yeah. I very much like the direction I've decided on for how I'm handling these types of missions moving forward, because I like giving you guys stuff that isn't just raw combat after the suffering arc,
yeah,
the boss rush arc.
I don't mind not fighting.
Yeah, it's fun to let characters flex their other abilities.
Will Tomas be allowed to have Maya?
Just turn her into a cat.
Yeah, it's turning into a house cat.
Will he'll be allowed to have a house cat though.
Reese is probably gonna turn Percy into like a weasel, like a
So,
stoat.
does it specifically say house cat? Or does it just say a tiny cat?
I think it's tiny cat.
If it's just a tiny form, you might be able to get away with having it as like a cub you are training or something like that, and just having like a familiar satchel.
Purse kitty.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's you touch your ammo companion to transform it into a non-threatening tiny creature of the same family or a similar creature. For instance, a house cat instead of a tiger, or a puppy instead of a wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You could turn it into like a snow leopard cub because they're essentially sentient cotton balls.
Aww.
What if Reese turned Percy into a hummingbird? Fuck yeah.
Wears them in her hair. Just a little ornament.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. You can't tell me this is threatening.
Are you sending a picture of a snow leopard cub?
Yeah.
They're like a sentient cloud.
Uh-huh. So cute.
They're so fucking cute.
Uh-huh.
I love how their paws are like bigger than their arms.
Uh-huh.
They're
That-
like the
that is-
size of their heads.
I mean, anytime Tomas makes Maya small, that's what she looks like.
I just constantly love the
They're
snow
snowshoes.
leopard. I love that they constantly look like they're making a face because of like the black markings around the edge of their mouth. They look concerned.
They do. They look like they're like, must go faster, must go faster.
They look like they're making the fucking colon capital I face. Right.
Big feet. Like the little purple tail tip on that.
But yeah. I'm gonna get with Matt so that Reese can have girl time with Avi and Emmy.
Oh dear.
Hell yeah.
Aww.
Oh, Matt, there was one other thing I wanted to do.
Uh oh.
Um,
You have 5 minutes.
wow, okay.
I'm just
Tomas
kidding.
is gonna go track down Emmy.
Sure. When she gets back, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So, I assume you're just like pacing in the corridor after you know
Yes.
you're going teleporting there. So
Yeah.
you see you see the three redeemers walk in like
Mhm.
exhausted and tired and SpongeBob rendered, and behind them come Shaw and Emmy, who look exhausted but not as bad.
Tomas is just going to very rudely push past his friends, be like, "Hey guys, what's up? Get out of my way," and walk up
Nice
to
to see
Emmy.
you too. Jeez.
You're not my daughter. Go away. He just walks up to Emmy, like grabs her
Wow.
face. He's like, "Are you okay? Everything's fine. Nothing broken."
No,
Jealous. Wow.
I'm a little dizzy and like I feel sore, but nothing too bad.
But they didn't let you get hurt or anything, right? Like you're fine.
No, I spent most of my time there helping out, like in the medic camp in the middle of town.
How are you, Lana?
Great, Reeves. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
I'm glad
You
we could.
two are fine.
I like to think that right after this, Reeves comes and finds Reese and is like, I need to be away from everyone.
That's exactly what happened.
Yep. Like, you know what? Fuck this. I need to.
How tall is Tomas again?
Apparently his sheet says 5'5". I thought he was shorter.
I thought it was
Emmy looks
5'4".
down at him slightly and puts her hand on your shoulder and says, Tomas, I'm fine. I really appreciate the concern. Please don't be rude to the others just to check
They're
up on me.
genuinely fine. Listen. He's gonna turn and look at his party members like, how are you guys?
I don't know, Tomas. How are we?
You're fine.
Apparently, we're fine.
Jesus Christ.
It was rough out there, Tomas. Please don't be mean.
I suppose I could try to be nice.
This just makes Reese's kindness seem even nicer in contrast.
He's gonna smile at me like, do you want dinner? Oh, we'll make dinner.
I mean,
Okay,
dinner would be good,
Tomas.
yeah.
I have a lot on my mind. I'll catch up with you guys later.
Oh.
Have a good time, Reeves. Lana, do you want dinner too? I can make for more than one.
Oh, well, what are you making? Sure. I mean,
I don't know. Depends on what the owl's got that I can find.
Don't steal from the apple!
Hairs on your back and the back of your neck stand up, Tomas.
Jesus Christ. Reese can't let Tomas out of his sight for like 1 second. This man is older than he is and does shadier shit consistently.
Uh-huh.
Tomas, when you go to check the cabinets, all you find is a note that says, you have to ask if you want things, Tomas.
God damn it. He'll eventually go find Osek and Aspirin and make dinner.
Yep. Osek will just hand you a bag of supplies.
God.
Like he
Why
just
is Reese
reaches underneath the table and hands them to you.
Why is Reese dating this person?
no, sorry. I thought that was in character. Never mind. My brain immediately went to like, oh, I can bounce off that.
Wee.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, no. Reese is conversing with Reeves right now.
Right.
And casting a mansion just for Reeves.
Alright. So your daughter is safe. If a little tired, but she was happy to help.
I like that he's just claimed her at this point.
I appreciate that she is taller than you, I just realized.
Yeah. Everybody's
Reese
technically.
adores Emmy, but does not see her as anything other than a sassy best friend.
Yeah, she has grown powerful working under Zara.
Yeah,
Tomas
because
made a
like,
promise.
because that one time, she like looked at Reese and they both looked at Tomas and just shared a moment.
Listen.
Mm-mm.
Also,
Poorly invested.
she
I
got
know.
cheats where she like traveled alongside of the gods she later ended up like being a cleric for. Also, she exists in a time period where if aether was water, you could hold your canteen out and squeeze the air and fill it up. So
Jesus.
she's essentially roided out. Divine magic.
I love her. I cannot wait for AV and Emmy and Reese bonding time.
Yeah. All right. Anything final anybody wants to discuss? Otherwise, we are good to scatter to the winds.
Think he is set.
I am good.
I am good.
All right. I will ping you guys all in the channel when everything is good to go for the if anybody wants to schedule one-on-ones. And I will ping you again once we have dates for what team is going when. Until then, though, I will see you all later. I'm gonna go pass the fuck out.
Yay.
Okay.
I need
Night.
dinner
Have a
still.
good night.
Goodbye.